Greeting internet friends, welcome to another exciting episode of Dabbling with Dan. Today I'm going to be dabbling in repairing my gas log. I just want to make a note that this is purely for entertainment purposes. This isn't a how-to video. This belongs to me, so I'm taking all the responsibility. But I thought there's some entertainment value out of it. So the first thing I got to do is remove the front of this Vermont Castings gas log. So this whole unit is held down by a screw at the base, and of course it hinged at the top, so I have to remove that bolt. And the way you gain access to it is you have to open up this slot here, and I've located the right wrench. It's a 7/16 inch, and I have to reach up underneath here. And so this is the only screw you have to remove to take this whole front off. And again, it's a 7/16 inch. Find it. And this is a ratchet wrench, so it's easier to get in there and on top of that bolt. So as that bolt came off, you saw where this kind of drifted down. I'm just going to lift this up. And this is cast iron and it is really heavy. So I don't want it to fall. Set it off here to the side. Now the next thing I should really think about is safety related. I want to make sure I shut the gas off to this unit. Okay, before I proceed, the first thing I want to do is shut the gas off to the unit. So I'm going to move my happy little cat here and show you this is the valve that shuts the gas off to the unit, and that is in the off position, and that will allow me to remove anything without worrying about getting gas in the house. So the next step is I'm going to remove the glass, and it's held on by two metal plates, one on either side, which each plate has two Phillips head screws. And counterclockwise to remove these. And I'll set these up here out of the way. Now, I just want to be careful when I take these off so the glass doesn't fall in there. And of course, this unit's been off. If this thing had been running, this glass would be really hot and you could get burned. And that's part of the problem. It's winter here where I live, and this unit hasn't run at all this winter, and the spouse is beginning to wonder why I haven't taken care of this problem. So once these screws have been removed, I'll pull this glass out. And I'm just going to go ahead and set this on top of the unit. Of course, the problem I was having is that this is thermostat controlled, and after the pilot light was lit, what should happen is when that thermostat gets to that temperature that I've set, it's not kicking on the main gas valve. And there's a thermocoupler we'll show you here in a little bit, which is really a safety device. What it needs to do is that thermocoupler sends electric current to the valve after it's been heated up. And we know the thermocoupler is working because when the pilot light is on and we disconnect the electrical leads to the gas unit, the pilot light turns off. So the next step here is going to be removing the gas logs. And then I'll just set these on top, keep them out of the way. And here's another thing that kind of causes me some concern, is this really dark burnt soot that's on here. And that might be due to a gas air issue that would probably also lead to the problem of being the gas valve. Now, let's take a look inside. So if you take a look at this unit right here, this is where the pilot light would be. This is the thermocoupler, and this is the igniter. Now, there's a thermostat wire coming out to the unit held on by these ties. I'm just going to break these off. Connection 3/4 inch, and I'm using an adjustable wrench here to loosen that up. Okay, and eventually what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a cap to put on there, but I need to go ahead and follow this thermostat wire up in here and disconnect that, which is right here. I like to take a picture so that I can refer to it later on when I put this unit back together. But the thermostat is held on by 2 flathead screws, and this is the thermostat wire. So I'm just going to go ahead and loosen them up. Remove the wires, and I'm going to tighten the screws back up. The thermostat wire is disconnected, and I got the gas wire disconnected. You know, there's another fitting right here. Let's go ahead and, while we got this unit in, let's remove this. This is 11/16. So I want a wrench on there, and I'm going to use this adjustable wrench here. To loosen it. And then we'll set that off to the side. We'll be right back. And there's a screw there, and a screw there. I don't know if there's anything in the back though. Probably not. Alright, so I'm going to remove that screw there and see what happens. Oh yeah, that moved. Alright, because this unit's so sooty, I went ahead and put down a kind of a cloth here to kind of catch any junk. Let's see how this thing alright. Okay. So you can kind of see, so this is the problem I'm having here, and of course this is the igniter, this is the thermocoupler, and this is where your pilot light comes out. So I'm going to take this whole thing down to the gas store and see if they can tune this up or just replace it altogether. We'll be back. Very cool. I'm gonna get a vacuum cleaner and clean this all up before the wife gets home. Let's just take that in. Well, it has been well over a week, and I went ahead and got my unit back from a professional who went over the system, cleaned everything up, got everything working good. So now I'm gonna go ahead and reinstall it. Again, the gas outside is turned off, the valve is turned off. We got a few things that I got to do here. I went ahead and put this stuff back on, and one of the problems that we're going to go ahead and look at is whether or not the placement of the logs on top of this unit is causing part of the problems. The technician and I discussed what was going on, and he thought maybe it could be part of the problem. All right, so let's zip over here and we'll take this thing off and put this thing back in and see how it works. Okay. The work ticket and now I'm going to use my little surgical pliers to kind of hold on to the Phillips head screw. It is awful difficult to get it in the right position. Voila. With my surgical pliers. Got it in. Tighten her up. All right. Still pretty sooty. Got this T+2. Of course, I'm making sure that I'm not getting any in the hole. Putting this on, I'm just going to snug that there. Let's take a look over here. All right, now I'm going to use a tool here and another tool to kind of keep it from counter spinning to tighten this up. Okay, I'll do the same in the front. Remember, righty tighty, lefty loosey. Good and snug. Now the next thing I need to do is hook up my thermostat. So I'm going to go ahead and reconnect my thermostat wires. I went ahead and referred to my video Those are hooked up. Now it's time to go ahead and let's make sure my valve here is closed. And let's go turn the gas on. Try to light this up. Now we can turn the gas on to the unit. Now, the fun part. We're going to have to open up the pilot. And what I'm going to do is use a lighter here, set it by the pilot while I open up the pilot valve. The pilot has lit. Okay. Now I'm just going to do a test run without the glass on. And what I mean by that is I'm going to turn the thermostat on. Let's see. This unit works. There we go. Seems to be a couple of them that are taking their time lighting. And that might be because I had the glass off. Alright, now let's put the thermostat below current room temperature so it turns off. Okay, I like it. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put the logs back in, put the glass on, and I think we got it wrapped up. Okay, so I got the glass in, I got the front on. Let's go ahead and turn that thermostat on and see if this thing comes on. And turn the thermostat up above room temperature. There you go. Much better. Wonderful. So this is a big improvement. What happened before was the thermostat would kick on, you could hear the valve opening up, and then 4 or 5 seconds later there'd be a big poof of gas. But we seem to have got it fixed. The place that looked at my logs charged me $69, so that wasn't too bad. Although it was a 4-hour round trip drive, because there's nothing here in my local town. But thanks for joining me. Again, in the bottom right hand corner, if you like this content, go ahead and subscribe, share it with the video. Of course, this is just for entertainment purposes. I am not a registered gas log installer or whatnot. I'm just a homeowner. These are the things I got to do to kind of keep the house moving forward. Winter's coming around the corner, and this thing is great to keep this part of the house good and warm. And every once in a while we do have ice storms that knock out the power, and this thing works just fine as long as the thermostat has AA batteries that have good power in them. Keep me good and warm. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you next time. Bye.